Where have I been? That's where I've been. Very long story. You want me to talk about it? Sure, I can talk about it real quick. First things first, I am back. I, Henry, back in the flesh. I am back from the dead. I am back in action. I am back in a lot of things. This light is very bright. I finally have something that is bright in my episodes. It's awesome. It's great being positive. Yeah. Woo. Let's be positive. Okay, we gotta talk about a few things. And of course, all of this is gonna be biased.
And I will leave more information down below in the description. So please don't take everything I say as a fact. A lot of what I'm going to say is biased, so just keep that in mind. I'll remind you guys down in the description. A lot of this is not to confuse you. A lot of this is helping the both of us out. So
this is going to be biased. I'm not trying to offend anybody or make you not want to buy something. I'm just biased opinion and my understanding of the situation. And if any updates occur, I'll leave them in another video or in the description below. Let's get started. One thing I've been talked about, or a lot of things that I've been asked, is the whole iPhone throttling issue. What I mean by that is, why is Apple slowing down their phones? And that's not how people have been asking it whatsoever. This is how people have been talking to me about it. They're like, oh, Apple slows down your phones with updates so that you buy a new iPhone. Could you say that? Maybe. But is that entirely true? No. And of course I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about this right now. Just to get it over with, just get it out of the bag. If Apple really wanted to do that, wouldn't you think all your phones would just stop working after a year or 2 years, where you can't even make a phone call? Don't you think that would happen if Apple wanted that to happen? Apple's actually trying to prolong your phone to at least 4 years. How do I know this? Because that is what has been supported all this time. I'll leave that in the description. I'm going to be fact checking myself after this video, and after recording this video, and I'll be putting in the description. Apple has been looking at their updates with the battery. The battery does die over time, and it's not as slow as you think. It's actually pretty rapid because it's a lithium battery. The iPhone battery isn't exactly something that lasts forever. And a lot of people are upset because they're spending all this money on a phone that doesn't even last over 4 years. I say that's a yes and no question. It'll work, it just won't be as fast and the battery life won't be as long, but that's kind of our fault in a way. And when I say this, it's me too. It's quite a me problem, actually. I like to charge my phone all the time, pretty much. If my phone isn't at 100%, then I think that it's not going to last the whole day. So every night I charge it, and your phone is actually fine if you leave it charged at night, as long as you're not, overpowering it or using it while it's charging, or there's no magnet in your case. That way you're fine. But if you're doing something a little different, where you're throttling your phone or you're using it a lot while it's charging, your phone battery is not going to last as long as it should. That's because the phone battery is overheating a lot, causing it to last a lot less time than it would have if you didn't do that. Now, of course, a lot of us have a lot of things we want to do with our phone, and a lot of us are like, oh, I'm only keeping my phone for this long. And some people are, well, I spend this much money on a phone, it should last. But should it? It's a really biased thing when you start getting in those aspects. But I really wanted to focus more on the actual issue at hand, the whole suing aspect of the situation, and really my opinion on everything and what I think is going on. So, one of the big things with this whole situation is people are upset their iPhone isn't as fast as it was when they first got it. But you also have to keep in mind, you've been using your phone for a while, and you're using your phone right now probably watching this video. You're using it all the time. So why would you think it would be the same exact performance that it was before? The reason why there are updates is for security purposes. And if you're talking about iPhone, like, oh, they're having all these updates now that they have to fix all these issues. Well, yeah. In fact, you should probably be thanking them for taking the time to actually update your device. Because what if they never update their software? What if your phone is never supported? What if you can never update it until about a couple months after you had it? It's kind of frustrating because you never know if they're actually checking their software. You never know if they're trying to perfect something. What I think this situation is going to lead to with the processor and software updates slowing down phones over time to save the battery life, I think this is going to cause a lawsuit and even this whole dispute and this whole controversy that everyone's doing it. They probably are. Why do I think this? If you pick up a really old phone, it probably works the same way that it did the first day you've got it or the last time you updated it. Yeah. Saying that out loud, you're kind of like, okay, maybe Apple is doing something wrong. I think that it's a yes and no question, or a yes and no answer. Why I think that it's an issue is we don't get to choose. Do we preserve battery life and up our performance, or save battery life by taking away some of the performance features? I think that's something that we should be able to choose, and something that the public should be able to be like, okay, I care more about performance than battery life. I can just charge my phone. Some people are like, I don't have access to a battery backup all the time. I don't have access to a charger 24/7, or I have a really busy schedule and I can't look at my phone all the time. So why does it matter with performance when I care more about battery life and phone calls? All these things kind of go into why isn't it our choice to either do it or not? Kind of to change the subject a little bit, but not at the same time, let's talk about what people are doing about this whole issue. So we have Apple going to change their battery replacement cost from $80, $79, sorry, to $29, $20.99. So basically $30. This is extremely helpful because you can go straight to the manufacturer and go, hey, my phone battery life isn't so great, or my performance, I really need to speed up. Let's go ahead and do this. So your battery life, being a new battery, is not only good for your phone, but it's good for you too, because your phone's going to last longer, both battery-wise and performance-wise and life-wise. Phones, because of the lithium battery on the inside, are technically supposed to replace it. So I can kind of understand why Apple would try to take a step back from this and try to save battery life, or at least save people's phones so they don't have to spend another $900 on a new phone when it's just like, hey, why don't we do it this way? Why don't we just give people the option to swap out the battery so they can keep the same phone and not buy a whole other phone? And I know a lot of people who have come to the store where I work and gotten a battery replacement, and their phone performance, I didn't think much of it at the time. I noticed the performance was significantly better the second I turned it back on after the battery replacement, and I thought that was a little interesting. Like I said, I never thought much of it. I just thought it was cool, and I thought that was just something that the phone was just like, oh cool, new battery, that's awesome. So I thought that was interesting. I would just use a Mophie battery pack, and I've been quite happy with that because I don't have to replace anything. I don't open the phone at all, and I just went that way for a long time. And it surprisingly works really well. And I don't think that's a horrible option to consider. Just get a battery backup. Now, this is actually not going to fix your performance. Keep that in mind. this isn't going to help your performance. Now, if you got a new battery, then you wouldn't have to put a case on it, like a really heavy case on it, than what you would have already. And it would be a lot cheaper just getting a new battery than it is getting a case. I'm still battling this cold a little bit. Ugh. When I close my eye, I can see like this big ring. This light, I'm gonna have to get used to it. Don't get me wrong, this light is awesome. And it's actually one of the things I unboxed for Christmas. There are a lot of things I need to do for this YouTube channel. I gotta do new unboxing videos. I gotta do new reviews. I've got a lot of videos for you guys. I think this pretty much does it for this episode. I want to know what you guys think about this whole battery issue that has been affecting the software and why Apple has been updating it. The question I have for you today: do you think that Apple is the only one making their updates affect the performance of your smartphone or even your tablet, even your computer, over time to preserve your battery life? I want to know in the comments down below. Let me know. Of course, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like this video, you know what to do. I'll see you guys later. Back and better than ever. I think that worked. What do you think? I think it worked. Awesome. Okay, let's stop this before I embarrass myself even more. Woohoo! Yeah.